Welcome to On the Town. This week we're coming to you from Newport Beach, California, Fashion Island, where the YWCA, which operates a hotel for abused women and women on the rebound, critically need funds. They've put together a spectacular event, and it's all coming to you because it's a concert with the legendary Bobby Short. Now, the ladies have done a very interesting thing. They've co-sponsored this event with the International Interior Design Association, who have turned a vacant storefront back here into the Hotel Carlisle, where Bobby Short performs in New York. And they've transformed the front and the interior. We'll show you some shots of that, and we'll introduce you to the ladies involved. And then later on, you're going to see an interview that I did with Bobby Short earlier today during his sound check. And I'll tell you, he's a very interesting person. And then you're going to see part of the concert. So stay tuned. We've got a lot coming up for you. And let me show you what the interior and this Hotel Carlisle on the West Coast looks like. Well, we brought together three of the most important ladies who put this event on. And first I want to introduce here to my right, Mary Blake, who is the Executive Director of Development for the YWCA, Kathleen Bowman, who is the Executive Director of the YMCA, and also Eileen. Eileen, you are the President of the International Interior Design Association.
That's right, the International Interior Design Association.
Newport Beach, Orange County chapter.
Orange County, right. City Center. Right.
Now, it was your responsibility to decorate. Your organization co-sponsored tonight,
right.
which was very generous.
Thank you.
But everyone knows that Bobby Short plays at the Carlisle, New York.
Right.
And you took an empty storefront and turned it into the Hotel Carlisle.
Right. What we did was we replicated what the Cafe Carlisle in New York is exactly like. Not exactly to scale, but right. The ambiance, everything we did, so that when we all go to hear him later, we'll carry through.
How many designers did you have work on this whole event?
This whole event, we had, I must say that Joan Speaker and Marlene Matson really did a Herculean job here.
Right.
We had Pam Stovall, Mary Peters, I'm counting as I'm going.
Right.
We had Trudy White and myself. So what is that, 5, 6 designers?
You know, first of all, I got to tell you, working with Eileen Klein, she's a powerhouse. And if you're going to have a co-chairman or a chairman of an event, and you really want to put everyone together, you're the person to organize it.
Thank you, Mike.
The first time I met you at the first organizational lunch, I knew who you were going to be and what you were going to do. And I have to compliment you because this venue turned out beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, I have to tell you a little secret.
Yes.
I've had Bobby Short with me for 2 days,
yes.
And I drove him by the front of the canopy.
And what did he say?
He was awestruck.
Marvelous.
He was awestruck. Now, of course, we didn't want him to have any appearance here, so he had to kind of bend down a little bit.
Right.
But we drove him by so we could see it. And, of course, this all looks very glamorous, but this is for a very serious cause. And, Kathleen, let me start with you being the Executive Director of the YWCA. You operate a hotel for women in transition, correct?
That's right. The women in our program are women who are threatened with homelessness. And homelessness can come to women in a lot of different ways. It can be because of a battered situation that they've had to flee. It could be because of some bad choices, frankly, on their part, alcohol or drug abuse. Or it could be because one morning they woke up and their husband of 40 years died and they just didn't have a backup. And so there are women in our program who have literally come from all of those situations.
You've got several different programs, though, for women restarting, though, don't you? It's not just one program. Several different programs that are going on at the Y right now. Isn't it true?
Well, the heart of our program really is our employment program, because what we're doing is we're taking women from a position of homelessness and hopelessness and transforming them into contributing members of society. So the heart of our program is really getting them a job, getting them employed, helping them to learn how to budget, and to get all the support services that they need so that they can, in a fairly short period of time, move out and be independent. We also have a program for senior women, because what we're learning is that there are a lot of older women now who don't have the support structure when something goes wrong in their life to have a place to go and live, and so we're developing a program for the senior women.
I was reading your literature that besides trying to find them a job, you've actually helped them write a resume.
Oh, absolutely.
With their communication skills, what a job is and the responsibility. So it isn't just finding like a job service, it's helping someone rebuild their life and understand what it takes to get a job.
Absolutely. We do interview techniques. We even do dress for success. So we have the full gamut of programs that will allow them to be able to get a job and keep a job.
All right. Mary, I want you to come in a little bit closer to us. Mary is your Director of Development.
Right.
She seems to know every old family in Orange County. I mean, you talk about calling on resources.
Absolutely.
Except for maybe Joan Irvine Smith. Does someone know more people than she does in Orange County?
I don't think so.
Well, Mary, why don't you describe what your job really for the Y is first?
Well, my job for the Y is to bring support to the Y. We have a wide base of support and have had for 70 years, the YWCA, South Orange County. But our needs changed. You know, when I took sewing classes there as a young bride, the programs in the neighborhood have completely changed. And we are addressing homelessness of women now among our classes and things for teenagers, and we're also helping with Orange County mental health. Our gym is being used daily as a daycare center for Orange County mental health, 7 days a week from 9 to 5. We provide a hot meal, laundry, mail, all kinds of recreation and guidance and psychological and psychiatric counseling. That's just one thing. We're using our gym for that now. So we have to change, you know. Nothing stays the same. But our big challenge is the homelessness of women and helping them in so many ways. And Mike, I have a story of a woman that helped us with this event who came in and she had no teeth. And we have doctors, dentists, counselors, psychiatrists, all kinds of business people from Orange County that help us take care of these women and get them employed and see that their lives improve because they've gotten down to the level where they can't help themselves anymore. So this lady came running down the hall to me a few weeks ago, tears in her eyes, "Mary, come see my teeth." I don't think that anything has ever affected me so much as the smile and the thrill, and no movie star ever had a better close-up than she does. And that same day, she had been hired by one of the companies that works with us in their offices, and she's on her way now. So this is what the Hotel for Women is about at the YWCA. It's getting those people from the community together to have this Step to Independence program. And without them, it wouldn't happen. We're there to facilitate it, to direct and guide, and to raise the money, to provide the funds to keep the hotel open. But this is a way everyone in Orange County and all over, there are many people here from Tom Desert tonight, LA, Pasadena, helping, San Diego, helping women who are homeless. And you know, you can do all kinds of things to help somebody, but what's the old thing? You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you give him a pole, and that's really what we're doing, I think.
That's true.
It's very exciting to be part of this under such a capable executive director and loving and caring woman as Kathy, and all the people that have made this evening possible.
Well, you have a lot of caring people, you have a lot of talented people with you. You know, every week we go to a different charities, you know, and we're probably most known for the fact that we have stars on every week, and we've had over 100 stars on in just 20 shows, but it really is a charity that we spotlight every week. And this, I think, is what makes us the proudest, because we're here for a spectacular evening. You've got a great star here tonight, but it's great. But really, what this is all about is helping homeless women. So here we have this very sophisticated evening, but we have to go back to see what we're really here for and broadcast what the real problem is, because most of the people who hear this tonight, unless they were associated with the Y, had no idea what really is happening with you all down in Santa Ana.
We need to get the word out to any woman up and down Southern California that we're there for them. That's a very important message.
Well, I think not only this show, but I think what has happened is if you can partner with organizations like the International Interior Design Association, you like that plug there, and talented women like this,
and the Junior League,
and the Junior League that's helped an awful lot. What we can show is that an organization like yours, partnering with great organizations and talented people like you, can come together and help an awful lot of people, and at the same time put an event on this and just have a great time. Now, in a couple of minutes, we're going to go out to the stage, and you're going to see the opening of Bobby Short. Now, I would like to add something else, as we had a little hesitation there.
Yeah.
And earlier today, I was out at sound check for Bobby Short, and we're going to show you that interview also, because Bobby was tuning up the piano, we're checking the microphones, and we had a chance to spend a little time with Bobby before he got ready. So we'll switch back to that, and then later on, you're going to see Bobby walk on stage, fully dressed, spectacular evening. Ladies, thank you very much, and good luck to you. All righty?
You've been great.
All right, baby. We have a rare treat this evening, especially here in Southern California. Someone we don't often see out here, but is more of a landmark in New York. You're really a tourist attraction in New York. And I hate to say that, but we're here with Bobby Short, and he just got done sound testing for tonight's concert. And we have a lot of people out here tonight to see you. We've gotten a lot of calls from people from New York to say, is he really here? Is it true? Is the lines outside of your club in the Carlisle Hotel to see you? You're as big as tourist attraction as anything a night in New York.
Well, we just finished our 30th, or we just began our 30th year there, so that means something, I suppose, in show business.
That's true. That's true. You know, it's kind of interesting. You've come out for an event, for a fundraiser for the YWCA, and it's an interesting mix because they wanted to have a very hot night with the stars, under the stars here in Newport Beach, and they reached back 3,000 miles to get you to come.
3,000 miles, yes.
And you know, the worst part is he's come 3,000 miles, but this is a short hop for him because you're going a little bit further after this, aren't you?
I'm going back to New York on Sunday and then from there to France.
Going to France. And how about South America?
That's in September. Yes.
So you're really doing a lot of world trotting, and I'm glad we got you here just before you started your annual migration back to the south of France.
That's right. I need that, you know.
Now, you have a 9-month run back in New York usually?
No, I haven't. I do 2 seasons there, Mike. I go there in the springtime for 8 weeks, which ends, that season ends the end of June. We've just ended, as a matter of fact. And then I go back in the fall, the middle of October, and play until the end of the year.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let's talk about your start at the Carlisle. I mean, you did a lot of stuff before that, but that's become really, you've been associated with the Carlisle interchangeable. And tell me how that all began.
It all began quite accidentally, like things in show business begin. The piano player took a vacation, and I was asked to replace him. And the owners said, can you stay on for a while? And so I've stayed on for 30 years.
Did you buy the cafe?
Not quite. I don't want to buy the cafe.
You know, it's funny because when you go back, the Carlisle really is you now. It's a very interesting event because what they've done is they've taken a empty storefront here. The co-sponsor is the International Interior Design Association, and those interior designers have taken the front of that vacant storefront, draped it like the Carlisle Hotel, and the black tie dinner is taking place tonight at that location as if they're in the Carlisle Hotel. And then they're going to walk from there over to here to see the person who normally performs at the Carlisle Hotel.
That sounds fantastic. I wish the air conditioning at the Carlisle were half this pleasant and agreeable.
I mean, you can imagine here, he's used to New York. He's out here, dead summer. Oh, it's about 75 degrees now, maybe a little bit warmer. Tonight will be 72, a little balmy, nice little breeze. What an environment to play in.
I think it's wonderful. It's very inviting, and I think it's a nice change for me. I haven't played out of doors in a long, long time.
Right. And this, if you're going to play outdoors, I think is one of the great venues because this is really a close knit environment. It's not like you're playing to on an amphitheater out to thousands of people that you can't see the crowd.
I've done that a few times too.
You know, let's talk a little bit back at the Carlisle. Tonight they did something interesting. For the seats and for the prime tables, they did theme tables off of what your favorite songs are.
I've heard about that.
Right. And let's talk about, you have an album of favorite songs out. Let's talk about that a little bit, too.
I have several albums of favorite songs out, and I must say that most of my albums are favorite songs.
Yeah.
I've always chosen my own songs, and so they're all my favorite songs. But for this evening, I think they've chosen songs that are more or less obviously associated with me.
Right.
I think Love Is Here to Stay and Sand in My Shoes and things like that.
Are we going to hear a little Satin Doll tonight?
You're going to hear Satin Doll. Yep, absolutely, you're going to hear that.
You know, I think it's kind of amazing. Unlike a lot of concerts here, you're basically a trio tonight.
Tonight, we're always a trio. I have, in the last season at the Carlisle, I added 6 more musicians. We were an orchestra. And then, of course, we perform with symphony orchestras from time to time. But tonight, we're down to basics.
Right.
Just the three of us.
I think that's what everyone's wanting to see, because they're really going to hear the piano tonight, and they're going to hear that voice tonight.
Yeah.
Let's hear that voice out in the night and the moonlight out here. It's going to be a little different for you playing outside at night, but that's what people wanted to hear.
What time is nightfall around here?
About 8:30.
8:30. That's great, because I think it's difficult to play in the daytime to an audience like this. And so by 8:30, we'll have the thing all grooved out, you see.
I think you started just at dusk, and the lights will take their effect in the first two songs, and the sound, and we heard the little sound a little bit earlier, and I think it's going to be a hot night out here.
Well, I hope so.
Let's, you've got, tell me a little bit more about some of the songs we're going to hear, and the arranging of them, too.
Well, I'll be singing some songs by old standard composers like Vernon Duke and Cole Porter, of course, and Duke Ellington. And we're doing a tribute to Ira Gershwin's lyrics this evening. We're doing some funny old songs, some Cole Porter songs, of course. And we're doing standards like Body and Soul and Sad and All.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Let me ask you about, you mentioned Duke Ellington.
Yes.
And let's talk about the monument to him.
Ah.
I mean, that's something that the music lovers are near and dear to their hearts, and you were involved in that too. Can you describe that?
I was totally involved in that. It was my idea 18 years ago, and it took 18 years to get it erected and positioned in New York City. It stands now at 110th and Fifth Avenue.
All right, can you describe it?
The northeast entrance to Central Park. It's 25 feet high, and it is